Hi, my name is Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about how to give back to God. I just made a video like this, or why you should be giving back to God, but you guys have to find some ways to give back to God. I'm going to tell you right now, and I can't hold back my facial expressions. I can't. So, let me hold my facial expressions and look at... Oops. Okay, great. It's some silly, but basically one thing that you have to know about Jesus Christ, the Most High God, is we have to constantly be giving back. Now, there's something that comes with free will. It's the feeling that you're fully free. And of course, God gives all of his angels, all of the demons that he let on earth. Everyone has free will. It's a law. He gave it to us. Basically, I mean, he's not going to control our free will. He can if he'd like to, but he likes people to be genuine. So, there's a sense about being free. So, when you have free time, when you just feel free, it's like, go in a field and just run around and you can do whatever you want. I feel free. I can do whatever I want, and then you do whatever you want. And there's certain cultures around the world, like there's a place I'm not going to talk about this culture, I'm not going to say their name, I'm not going to say what part of France. Basically, they thought that their free will meant that they had to do bad. Like, there's like, we should express a free will, so there's too much to do with free will. And I say this because people get, when you have the free will in your heart to do whatever you want, anything you do that makes you feel good is something you'll do, but it doesn't make you feel good. So, I'm going to tell you right now, nothing people do outside of God will give them glory. Jesus Christ, the Most High God, is someone who loves you. So if you go to do something outside of Jesus, and then people start taking... the thing is, people get comfortable with God. And this sucks, and this is something I have to do myself, because the thing is, you have to check yourself. You're like, okay, because God will just let you do whatever you want. He truly will. He'll say it once, or he'll be very quiet about it, or he'll just let something go on, and then lessons will hit you, and you're just like, WTF, what the fudge? And you're like, what the? And you realize God just let you do your own thing to see how it was when you walked away from him. It feels like punishment. And he's not punishing you, he's just letting it happen. So a lot of people, when they get close to God, they'll get super comfortable. And I do this every morning. Do not copy me. I told you, don't copy me. Which, don't do this with your face. But you have to like slap yourself and wake yourself up and be like, okay, am I doing everything correct? Humans mess up so much. You have to be your own devil's advocate. And I don't like that word, but the one person who's like, well, I could be doing this wrong. You gotta check yourself. Because God will let you, and even when you guys physically hear Jesus, he will let you do whatever you want. He'll say it once or twice, or he'll just let you know with a sign. But he'll let you do whatever you want because it's free will. He's not going to control you once you hear him. So, and that's what people don't expect. Because when you hear God, you expect, oh, he's going to correct me here. Oh, he's going to correct me there. He sits back and watches. Because God is subtle. God is extremely, extremely subtle. He's a lion that doesn't have to show the teeth or the claws to know that he's a lion. Because he's the Alpha. He's the Omega. Jesus Christ, the Most High God. Whew. I'm going to start preaching now in a second, but that's the thing. But like, are you religious? No, I teach the truth. I teach the truth. So, I'm going to teach... I have so many more topics to teach about when it comes to God, but, for example, there's a woman in my life last night, and oops. You know, it's not mean to call the woman a thing, because basically it let certain things into its body. And it sounds bad, but the thing accepted beings into its body. So when someone accepts 3 demons or deities into their body, I call it a thing, because now it's diverse. So you're not looking at him or her. You're looking at something doesn't have, basically entities that haven't taken a gender, and entities, they, them, whatever you like to call, basically a multifaceted human being. So, and I'm not talking about LGBTQ plus or anything like that. I'm talking about people, when there's legion inside one person, and they're basically like, I'm sleeping with people like, I'm sleeping with Oshun. It's like, shut up. It's like, get your... Okay, so someone you guys know who I'm talking about. The person last night who's basically representing, I have three primal. Oh, I just said it. No, I'm not supposed to say all the details on it. I have three primordial beings inside me or whatever, or around me, and I'm just like, basically, what's a good example? I'm just gonna ask. What's a good example? Like a chimera. A chimera. There we go. Is a it. So it's a multifaceted entity, and what happened is, when something moves outside of God, it becomes its own creation, because that's what God does. If you ever look at what the devil does, is the devil makes themselves, the devil makes themselves, itself, into multifaceted beings because they fall so far away from God. So they're like, well, what if I worship this God and that God, and then they're having spiritual husbands and wives with demons, false gods, and their love life is blocked, their finances are ruined, they're having weird stuff happen down there, and they can't put together what's going on. And yeah, I know when stuff is going on with people, it's because they're doing stuff outside of God that God let them do. So if you pay, the whole point of this is people begin to start making a mess when you do stuff outside of God. So that's an extreme spectrum. That is an extreme spectrum. Yeah, make sure people don't get too close to my car. Okay. That is an extreme spectrum. I'm that Florida Stone man. I'm that guy. So, okay. The point is, people will do whatever they want. And it leads to a mess. That's one direction. It will lead to just complete disarray. The person becoming consumed by demons and deities. And when you look at one person, sometimes the illusion of this planet is when you look at someone, you're seeing one person. You're seeing legion in a person who takes many forms. It becomes a multifaceted person. That's why it's interdimensional. So this might confuse some people, and you're like, what? But that's the thing. When you look at someone, you're like, that's why. And he asked him, what is thy name? And he said, thy name is Legion, for we are many. And he besought him much that he would not send them away out of the country. Now there was a nigh unto the mountains a great herd of swine feeding. And the devils besought him, saying, send us into the swine, so that we may enter into him. And forthwith Jesus gave him leave. And the unclean spirits went into the swine. And they went into the steep place in the sea. And there were about 2,000, and they were choked into the sea. This basically means that this dude is so far away from God that he just got possessed by 2,000 beings that would rather go into swine than to be tossed into the abyss. So these people that you see out here who are moving closer, further away from God, they're getting, if 2,000 was in one person, and you see some person in the club, how many do you think is in that person? Do you think they live a life for them? That's why, I'm going to tell you this right now. For people, this is going to shock you guys. I'm going to tell you something scary. So, if you slept with someone outside of God approving it, you will not remember it. You won't know the details of the intercourse. Why is that? It's because a demon did it for you. A demon used your body and took your memory, and it went to the demon and it satisfied the demon, but it used your physical body. That's why for people who hook up with multiple people, it won't be satisfying because they don't really fully remember it, or they forgot what it felt like. It's because that person, and think about it like this, the last person you were intimate with, who God didn't send into your life, how much of that did you enjoy? How much of that did you remember? The enjoyment goes to the incubus or succubus. So that's why people have like a short-term memory. It's like, that's why they want to do it again. It's because God didn't approve of that, and they didn't get to save the memory because it wasn't them. It was through a demon. So on to another point. So anything you do outside of God just leads to doom. It depends on how much doom. So for people who are actually close to God, and the thing is, there's no taking a break from God. What is that? Because I know a lot of people who are like, well, I'm talking to God today. Well, I'm not talking to God today. What are you doing? You woke up because of him. So man, woman, not a child, because there's some people who are just like, well, I'm sick of God today. I'm not gonna be talking to God today. What the hell? Like, do you know how the devil gets you? And then you're gonna pray and be like, well, that's the thing. What are you doing? You know how much that pisses Jesus off? You know how many lessons get sent for that? You can't get sick of talking to God. So for people, it's not a real relationship if you're like, well, I'm sick of talking to you, God. Okay. You wonder where you're going? Like, that's the most offensive thing to Jesus ever. It's because, all he does is love you. All Jesus does is love you. He shows you so much love. And some people are like, well, I'm sick of him now. He's not your ex, okay? You don't just dump Jesus, the Most High God. So, because then you'll get dumped. You know how people get into Sheol, the columns of the underworld? You are dropped in. That's how you enter the columns of the earth. You fall. When they say you fall from God, you don't get placed there. In this physical body, you're dropped. You fall for a good minute. You hit the ground and you feel it when you die. You look over, you get respawned next to your body, and you look over at your net kid, Bati, and you say to yourself, oh my God, that's me. And God says, this is what happens when you stray from me. And he'll let that happen to anyone. He'll let that happen to the most holy Christian who walked away from him. So that's level 1 in Sheol. That's all I'll teach about Sheol is level 1. You get dropped in and you're like, and I'm not going to say what part of level 1. You guys don't know how to get there. You guys will not go there. It belongs to Jesus, and be careful if you're trying to astral travel into Sheol without his permission, you'll stay there. I know people who have done it because, like, oh, Florida Stoneman taught about Sheol. I'm gonna learn more than he did. They're there right now. Remember how I said dropped in? The only way you can get up is through Jesus. Now, you guys want more in life, and I'm gonna give you something right now. Here, I'm gonna give you something to think about. Anything negative that's happening in your life right now is 100% because there was a lack of God in that department at one point in time. So anything that's negative, anything you consider negative, it's because you didn't let God in. You didn't let him in somehow. So this is important because you can't have transactional relationships with God. God does what he wants, but give to him with love. Give to him with service. Look at Cain and look at Abel. One gave authentic offerings, put in authentic work. The other one did it and they're just like, I don't like this. It's like, I'm sick of this. It's like, I really have to serve this God. It's like, I don't have an option. And the other one got so jealous that he killed his brother. You can't, if anything pops up in your soul where you say to yourself, okay, I don't feel like serving God. Look what's going on in your life right now. Look at your life. Anything that's negative, that's a reflection of that thought directly. So it should be something that becomes automatic. It's like, you don't have to feel forced, like, oh, I'm forced to do this. You have to realize that God's doing everything to bring you success. But anything you're doing outside of God is falling away from him. Anything you do outside of God, anything does lead to chaos and disorder and dismay and lessons. Some people walk away from God and they think that they're good with him now, and they did what they're supposed to do. And they'll be walking through a park and just have a depression, anxiety, and all these nervousness. Why does that happen? Why? And that's the thing. Most people are being consumed by stress, anxiety, fear, panic, dismay, anger, because you walk away from God. Those are actual spirits that linger, but when you're close to God, they can't be around him. It's like, under the umbrella, Ella, A. So basically, get your attention. Like, well, Ella's evil. Who cares? That song. It has an enchantment over it, whatever. But don't listen to the song. Just the lyrics are aight, okay? So, open the umbrella, or God opens the umbrella and you're under it. You walk away from being under the umbrella, you're gonna get wet, and you're gonna stink, and you might get. That things will happen. You might slip in a puddle or something like that, and then you're like, well, why didn't God help me? It's because you walked away from his umbrella. Like, that's the thing. You have to, a lot of people have to improve their relationships with God. You have to ask, just the easiest way to do, Jesus Christ, the Most High God, just look at whatever is not going right in your life and attribute it to self-responsibility. So, because God will help you. He'll give you the answer. He'll give you the key. But he'll say it once. He'll just leave the key there for you to pick up when you put down yourself for him. Or put up yourself for him. He'll put down the key when you put yourself up with him. Bird likes this video. Archangel Gabriel. But I like the bird go. Those are divine messengers. But if you crave to move away from God and you don't know it, or if you crave to not do something for God, if you crave to not give yourself to God 100%, ask yourself why and compare it to anything that's negative going on in your life. So ask yourself, does working, basically, because we're all supposed to be working for God directly. In heaven, you work for God. It's about how much you enjoy it and how much you understand that what you're doing is benefiting you. So I'm noticing a pattern with humans. They think they're cool with God. They take a break. They chill out. There's no light in the car but the phone. But a lot of humans will be like, okay, I'm cool with God. And they screw off. And their life falls apart. And they're just like, why isn't God helping me? It's because the further you leave that umbrella of God, the further you go into the devil's trap. And I have a lot of other videos to make. Oh, baby, I'm going to teach about deities coming up. Every single one of those deities that you've ever seen from every tradition is a demon. Or a spirit that basically is a demon inside of a human's flesh. Every one of them. Every single one of them. I'm going to teach about that next. So people are like, well, I disagree. I got to exercise for you to actually see these demons. Deities, demons. So I'm going to say this real quick. People want to work with Oshun and I'm going to out all of them. I'm going to out all of them through Jesus, and it's going to be a very fiery video. People want to work with Oshun and they know what Beyonce is doing. Do you think Oshun's worshiping God if she's doing all of that? Demon. So even the nicest deities, that's a whole different video. And I'm going to start outing them because Jesus is coming. And everyone knows it. Demon, 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 demon. So that's what people do when they move away from God as well. They think they're talking to deities. I have not met one person talking to a deity who hasn't had some extreme drama go on. Because the thing is, this drama goes on so much for so long that they think it's a part of their life. They think it's normal. Your life's supposed to be calm and peaceful and abundant, and financial abundance like pouring in every single day, and love coming in. I mean, yes, life has its up and downs, but you can make those ups really high ups, and the lowest part of a mountain is still a mountain. So I'm gonna start outing deities soon to show you guys who they really are. They're all demons. We're gonna go down a long list. So I'd like you to think one deity that you might have worked with recently, because I know you guys do stuff behind my back. I know which deities you guys talk to because the demons actually tell other people. So, yeah, and they out all your business too. That Jesus doesn't tell me, because, I mean, Jesus is not nosy like that. He won't give people's business. But that's your monitor spirits, people's own deities. So, and that's the whole thing about going outside of God. People find deities outside of God. And people are like, well, I'm going to send my deity to attack you. The last 7 people who did that are in the ground of the past week. I can't say who or from what tradition they're from, but these people were in their 20s. And they were together when it happened. So I can't say too much right now, but... So yeah, I'm able to tell it in the future, the secrets about that, but... When I say check the obituary, check the obituary. Jesus is coming. But the last thing I'm going to tell you right now is you have to understand God, Jesus Christ, the Most High God. You can try this exercise with your deities, for the people who practice deities behind my back, or behind God's back. I'm trying to be like, people are like, well, God can't see me do this. Are you? For the people who, let me say it nicely. People think that God's dumb, but he stays quiet. Is the quiet person the dumbest person, or are they the smartest person? So Jesus Christ, the Most High God, just think of his image. Actually, yeah, just think of Jesus' image. This is a test for all of you right now. Think of the image of Jesus in your mind. Just see him in your imagination. You feel like this feeling come over your chest. It's like, ooh, what's this? It's like kind of like tingly. It's like kind of warm. It's like You almost feel like laughing. It's like, what's this? You're feeling Jesus. That's his love. Jesus is love. He's pure love. Like, well, this kind of feels good. What's this? And now switch to the deity that you've been talking to and look at its image. I know I can see those deities are, I'll reveal it in the future. They're not who they say they are. They're all, but think of your deity that you've been talking to. Feel your heart in your stomach and just wait. Just see the deity in your mind's eye and feel your chest and feel your stomach. Pay attention to your mind. You start feeling a bunch of anxiety and a bunch of stress. It's because that thing was a demon and it was feeding off of you. Now switch back to Jesus. Look at his love again, because you just felt that again. Because try this exercise later on. You felt that. Now, basically look at Jesus in your mind's eye again. You'll feel that warmth and love again. But you'll actually feel safe this time. It's because he's protecting you from those. People are like, well, that's your interpretation. The people who are like all about interpretations, they believe that they call themselves a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and they're not. That they actually are, because they interpreted that. When you make 3 facts into a new truth, it doesn't make a new truth, it makes a lie. These people are living in lies. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Until then, and I can see who else watches my video too. I have some of the spiritual community who spiritually attacks me watch the video as well. Bring it on, baby. Bring it on. Yes, I do taunt people who do black magic so that the planet is clean, because we love cleaning this planet. Jesus is coming and this planet will be awesome by the time he gets back. So until then, I'll see you guys next time. Get a custom necklace if you haven't already. Until then, oh yeah, ask Jesus Christ, the Most High God, what a custom necklace will do in your life. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.